Hey everyone, Ed Erickson here, and today I want to talk about being a technician or an entrepreneur in your business. So the first question I want to ask you is, are you an entrepreneur or are you a technician? Now, I'm sure a lot of you that have business, you say, well, of course, I started a business, so I'm an entrepreneur. Well, not necessarily. So let me explain what those two things are, where they came from, and then we'll come back to that question. See, a technician is someone who does the work, and they like doing the work, they're good at doing the work. It's the doctor who's seeing a patient. It's the lawyer who's going to court. It's the contractor who's going out and building a house. It's getting the work done. That's what the technician is all about. Now, the entrepreneur is all about going out and designing a business as if it's a sort of machine that produces the work. So they're different things. And where all this idea of these technician or entrepreneur came from was Michael Gerber, who wrote the E-Myth about 40 years ago. This was sort of the central insight of his book. See, the myth, and it's actually where the name of the book, E-Myth, comes from, the entrepreneurial myth. The myth is that businesses get started by these brave, visionary entrepreneurs who are going to change the universe. But the reality is that's simply not true. And the vast, vast majority of businesses are actually started by people who are good at doing something, and they got sick of working for somebody else, so they wanted to do it for themselves. And that is what I see in my coaching practice all the time is, people who are really good at doing something, talented physicians, good lawyers, skilled consultants, and all of these types of people are really good at what they do, and they just got tired of making somebody else rich doing it, so they said, well, I'm going to do it for myself. And they started up their business, but they were technicians. And so what happened when they got into the business and started is, how do I make this successful? Well, I do work. So they go about, they do the work. Well, how do I make more money? Well, I do more work. And now I need a bigger office, and its rent's going to be more expensive, so how do I afford that? Well, I do more work. Now I need an admin, so now I got to pay somebody's salary. How am I going to afford that? Well, I do more work. See, it's that cycle of the technician. It's how do you get better, right? You do the work, and you really can't be blamed for that because you spent your whole career training to be a good technician. In every job you ever had before you started a company, you got rewarded for that. So becoming the technician is sort of the natural default because you're good at it and it's what you know. But being the entrepreneur is really about deliberately building a business that can work, right, without you being the technician and constantly working in it. And in fact, the other day I talked a lot about working in it versus working on it. So you were thinking, well, wait, I can't just stop doing all the work and suddenly be this entrepreneur who's designing the business. Well, no, you can't, right? You need to be both. And what you need to be able to do is recognize when you're in one role or the other, and recognize when you need to be in one role or the other. And what you do is you find a balance so that now what you're actually doing is you're applying your technician talent when you need to and where it's appropriate, and you're applying your entrepreneurial talent when you need to and where it's appropriate. So now with that little background, think about it. Are you really an entrepreneur or are you really a technician? Just leave a comment below and say, I'm more of a technician than an entrepreneur. Or, nope, I'm an entrepreneur. I'd love to see where you fall. So some things that you can do to help get a better balance is to look at your schedule and almost specifically block out time. You block out maybe an hour or 2 hours each day, or half a day once a week, or whatever, but block out some time where you can specifically step into that entrepreneur role in your business and work on those entrepreneurial type things. And those entrepreneurial type things are the working on the business, like I talked about last week, where you're figuring out what is this company doing and where are we going and who are we serving and how do we do it. Those sorts of big questions about how do I create this thing that does the work without, me personally having to go in and do a lot. And then you can spend those other hours, doing the technician work, serving your clients, doing the thing that you've trained to do, doing the thing that you're good at, doing the thing you probably like since you started this business to do it. So that's it, just short and sweet today. Are you a technician or are you an entrepreneur? And do you know when you're doing one or the other, and are you consciously switching back and forth? So if you found this useful, please like, follow, share, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.